All right. We're here with my man.
Paul Negro.
What's your last name again?
Negro with an N.
So I'm here with Josiah,
Paul Negro.
got Drew McLean, Aaron Mazzaconi,
Mike Cattell.
Daniel Pasca. Brett's got his cool car here.
Some bald eagle valve covers.
One JZ, it makes cool sounds.
And we're here with his 350Z. Tell us a little bit about your 350Z, because I know it's got a couple of tricks up its sleeve, right?
Yeah, I call it the Z, 350Z, but it's okay. We're in Canada today.
So, Paul, I remember this car a few years ago. It was just pretty much a stock 350Z. I know it's got an LS base motor now, but like run us through some of the modifications you've done.
So basically it started off with the stock VQ. I mean, any Z or G35 with the stock VQ welded diff and suspension, you can have fun all day long. But we wanted to be competitive at that time, so we boosted that motor. As soon as we cracked 400 horsepower, the motor cracked. So I mean, that wasn't going to work for us. So we switched over to the reliability of an LS, and now we've been running this motor for 3 years with pretty much no hiccups. I mean, we're learning the car, working the car, but the car gets down. And now that we kind of stepped away from competition, like as you can see today, it just wants to party, and that's what it does.
Everyone can notice that you're running a company called Grassroots, I believe, right?
Yeah. I run Grassroots Performance with my partner Frost, and basically we sell parts to get you on the track, whether it's your car stock or already modified. We try and get you on the track for a good price with awesome customer support, and I mean our prices, you got to check them out for yourself to see if it's real.
Could you say that you guys support the Grassroots?
I would say that we're pretty grassroots, man. I mean, not just the car, but just a general vibe that we've always had. We couldn't go wrong with the name, right?
All right, cool, man. We're at the front of your car now.
Yeah, looks like it.
As you can see, things are sticking out of the hood.
Yeah, I mean, I got a nice baseball diamond shape because I like sports. The original reason for the diamond there is we left the truck accessories. So the radiator sticks up high. So we used the Grassroots high-rise intake, makes it a little more jammed than the low-rise. So, I mean, it didn't really bother me too much. Now that it looks a little bit better, I might put an FDF hood scoop on it. I think it would look pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, at least your alternator's cool too, right?
I painted it black for extra style points, so I think it suits the car pretty good.
Awesome. Do you mind if we go look underneath?
Yeah, let's do it.
Wow. As you can see, you got the cool valve covers on there.
Yeah, those are some Bald Eagle valve covers. We went to LS Fest, so again, those are for style points. Nice Chevrolet under there, they know what's up. Other than that, we relocated the coal packs, so that cleans the look up a bit, but when you're drifting through freaking Lake Lagoon, it gets all dirty anyways, so that doesn't really matter here.
Lake Lagoon?
Well, I don't know what this track is called, but it should be called Lake Lagoon because it was like the traveling through Dakar rally, man. I'm surprised it got this clean right now.
Blue Lagoon with Brooke Shields?
I watched that last night.
Word, really?
No, it was Blue Iguana I watched. It was a Blue Iguana.
Never seen that one,
No,
man.
it's a comedy. Everything was fabricated in-house by MDG Fabrication. He's my boy Gary. He made the whole turbo kit, intercooler setup. I mean, he's really the fabricator of all of us, and everything else, pretty much all parts front to back are at Grassroots. It only left the shop for an alignment. Other than that, we did everything under our own roof, you know what I mean?
Cool. So I see you got like the big intake on there.
Yeah, so this is the high rise. So we actually sell this high rise, low rise. It's good for if you got a cathedral port or a square port. If you're doing a swap or you got a truck, it's a pretty good kit. It's very similar in as few words as I can say to Holly Sniper.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you'll get the same results from both intakes.
I guess a setup that anybody else can do, right? You want to be able to duplicate your business, right?
Yeah, we had a customer drive a Silverado, towing an S14. We took the engine from the Silverado, put it in the S14, sold the truck with no motor for the price he bought it, and he had a free swap other than the parts we gave him. You wanted to go cheap, fast, reliable. Usually you can only get 2 of those, right? But for 3 years, it's been like a work truck, and I can't say I've had that with any other motor.
Yeah, and then I guess who did all the wiring in your car? I guess
So yeah, my partner at the shop at Grassroots is Alex Frost. He kind of specializes in wiring. He wired the car. I've never had an issue with wiring. I couldn't tell you red from black, power and ground. That's about as far as I'll go, but he knows what's up with that. I hit some switches and it goes fast.
you hit switches, all right.
I hit switches and things and it goes fast. You know?
Hey, one thing I noticed here is like the routing of the turbo is interesting.
So basically, I used to run an HX55, which is like a whole set truck turbo. So I gave it to Gary. I said, car runs, here's the turbo, make it fit. And that's what he did. I downsized to a GT45. So now I have maybe an inch or 2 of extra room, but obviously not enough to put the rad. So finally, after a year of different testing, we finally got cooling under control with the rear rad setup. And I mean, I can't complain. The car, I'd say today is probably the best it's performed in a long time.
It sure made a lot of smoke today.
Yeah, it was definitely a smoke machine.
And we got a really cool local scene. I know that
That's exactly it.
outside of the local scene, I know you got some little bit of recognition from the outside.
Yeah,
through like
going to the States a few times, sponsoring a few drivers out there, and then actually going and running with them at events has been pretty sweet for us, but it obviously doesn't feel like home, you know what I mean? And now that Drift Jam came along, kind of brings that old school vibe I used to have without the stress of a company and shit. So I love driving your events, man. They're freaking bomb.
thanks, man. We're like you coming. So what are we looking at back here, Paul?
So this is kind of extra points for me because I needed a new fuel cell, and I've recently started getting into jazz music. So I got
I like Miles Davis.
You know what? He's a legend, so you can't really go wrong with that. There's a couple Canadian guys worth mentioning, but anyways, there's a jazz fuel cell. I got a Phytech surge tank, a Bosch 044 pump, and a Grassroots fuel pressure regulator, and I mean, it hasn't skipped a beat since we have this set up.
Of course, you got a bash bar back here, right?
Yeah, I do have a rear bash bar, a little mini one. Hopefully I'll never have to use it. I haven't had to yet. I use it as a rear jack point, but other than that, I try not to smash. But I did kiss Aaron a little bit today. Wheel to wheel, safe. And we're boys before and we're better boys now. It just makes us that much closer.
Tight.
Really tight.
Nice. Going back to the rear rad, I think there's a hint here. We got like I guess a reservoir, right?
Yeah, so that's when you have a rear rad set up, it's always playing around with figuring out what's right for you. But I think we pretty much found it now. And after going to Vegas, I put in a little secret sauce, if you look at this.
Yeah, check it out.
Basically, for those really hot days that you just can't stand the heat, I put a little secret in there. If you check out the truck a little closer.
What are we looking at? Whoa, it squirts.
Oh, but that's like emergency case. You're on a hot lap, you're in a section where you're not drifting, hold the button down, it's just like your pit man with a sprayer, except you don't have to come off the track. So emergency cases, it's a pretty cool little sneak trick, right? But
Awesome. Thanks for taking me to the back of your car.
yeah, no problem.
Is there anything else you want to run through?
We can take a look at the inside of the car.
What's back there?
There's some Grassroots parts in there too. That's a Z31 dash for those of you who noticed. So that's like a 86 300ZX turbo dash. I have a Syncotech OBD2 RPM gauge. It does the job. And then the other gauges are Grassroots gauges, Grassroots steering wheel, handbrake, shift knob. We just actually finished testing the Grassroots fire suppression. So that's pretty neat. And when I say testing, I mean installed it because I haven't had to pull it yet. But other than
I'm glad you don't have to do that yet.
I mean, I hope I never actually have to pull it, but it's worked out pretty good. I actually gave you one, so I hope to see that thing in your car pretty soon.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, we added the stereo because there was no tunes when we got the car. I got an FDF handbrake plate. I don't know if I mentioned, I run the FDF angle kit too. The Mantis kit freaking works awesome. Mantis. The Mantis kit. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's pretty simple setup. Caged. I got some ducting that Gary made in the back. I just haven't switched out these sparkles. I just love these sparkles. I can't really get away from them. Plus they're FIA approved, so I can't go wrong with that.
Okay, word, okay. So I noticed, yeah, you said earlier you got a stereo system in here. I mean, tunes are important, right? What do you listen to while you're driving around the track?
I got the Pioneer head unit with the Kenwood speakers. I like to listen to, while I'm running, I like to listen to house. When I'm chilling out, I like to listen to kind of a chill pop. And then when I'm cooling off, the jazzy jazz comes out.
The Miles Davis.
Jazz flute, jazz cello, whatever it is, but I like all music, man.
All right, cool, man. Paul, thanks for running us through your car today, man. I hope you had a lot of fun here at Drift Jam.
No, it was an awesome vibe. I like to come to an event where I don't have to worry about crazy people spectating and driving near me. This was an awesome homey type feel event. I appreciate you having me out, man.
Definitely like a bike jam, skateboard jam kind of vibe, right?
Oh, you know, now that you say it, it actually comes to mind exactly like that. No, I hope you invite me to more, and
I don't know. We'll have to write the invites, though.
if you do a handwritten invite to me, I promise you I'll come to every single one. Handwritten. Not Facebook, not email, reminder. Paul, this is a date. I want to see you there, buddy. Pizza again, and I'll be there.
All right, so I like to end things off with, like, what's one of your favorite quotes that you kind of apply to your program, I guess, or to your way you live?
Okay, probably risk versus reward, and a lot of the time the risk is worth the reward. So if you want something, like, you got to get it. If you want to hit that turn as fast as you can, don't think twice, like, hit it, because that risk in the end is definitely worth the reward.
You heard it here first. The juice is definitely worth the squeeze.
That's exactly it, Joe. You understand.